This conference will now be recorded.
All right, what's going on, Michigan Chess Association? I am here with Majorraj from the Michigan Junior Chess Arena. We've been playing for the last 1 week or couple weeks, actually. We've been playing this tournament here. It's coronavirus's a serious pandemic going on, but why should we stop playing chess? And one of the best chess players in this tournament is here in a live interview. This is very rare for us to have someone of this stature with us, straight from Holland, Holland Chess Club. Majorraj, who is Saachi. Say your last name again.
Rajgarhia.
Rajgarhia. Saachi Rajgarhia. What grade are you in, Saachi?
I'm in 7th grade.
7th grade. And what school do you go to?
Black River Public School.
Okay, Black River Public School. Shout out to Black River. And you're part of the Holland Chess Club. And Holland is, what's the closest city to Holland? Is it Lansing?
Grand Rapids is about 30
Grand
minutes away.
Rapids. I see. And I know that you guys were in Scholastic Club Championships because I did my homework on Saachi and I seen her with a Scholastic Club rating. And you were, at that point, you were rated around 800, correct?
That's correct.
Right. And but the performance that I see you display on our tournaments, Michigan Junior Chess Arena, your rating on there is around 1800. So it shows some marked improvement in a short period of time. What did you do to improve? Did you just play more games? Did you take more classes with a coach? What did you do?
Well, I have been on chess.com a lot because I have more time. I've been doing a lot of tactics, playing games, and I have chess lessons every week. And before coronavirus started, I went to Holland Chess Academy every weekend too to play.
Okay. And tell me about Holland Chess Academy. Is it at a school or who runs the Holland Chess Academy?
Dr. Tony Palmer runs the
Mhm.
Holland Chess Academy, and it's not through my school. It's something where all kids of ages kindergarten through 12th grade can come and we can play chess and we can learn and we can just play chess like in scholastic and club tournaments together.
Okay, shout out to Coach Tony Palmer. I know Tony Palmer, and I didn't know he had that going on. But judging by the players that Holland Chess is producing, I'm glad Tony Palmer has given you guys a venue to play chess. Now, and when we do these interviews, it's going to be quick interviews. Get a little background on yourself. Who taught you how to play chess, by the way?
I started in Holland Chess Academy and I've had a lot of different coaches over the years.
Okay. Who actually? Oh, so someone in Holland Chess Academy taught you how to move the pieces?
Well, I learned at my home. My dad taught me like how to move the pieces, but I started
Mhm.
actually getting into it and like knowing strategies and stuff at Holland Chess Academy.
Okay. Cool. Um, Now, what we do here at Michigan Chess Association and also the Michigan Junior Chess Arena is we want to promote the young juniors that are achieving in chess. And you gained a third place finish in I think 2 tournaments ago, I believe, overall. And today you just missed the top three, I believe. You were fourth place. Am I correct or?
That is correct.
Right. And so I just want to tell you that I'm very impressed with your progression. I can't wait to see you reach newer heights, especially when you're talking about women in chess, because women in chess, I actually coach 5 of the top women in chess at my high school: Sharice Woods, Jaden and Jada Hamilton, Janice Bird, and Lauren Bradford. And so it's important for you guys to achieve on that level as well. So congratulations on your performance. Now we're going to get into the good stuff, right? They want to know Majorraj, who Majorraj is. You know Majorraj now. This is Saachi right here. That person that's beating you, Majorraj, this is what she looks like. And we're going to hit her with some questions here. This is our rapid fire section, or rapid fire part of our interview. And I want you to answer these questions very fast. So we have 60 seconds to answer all these questions. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Favorite color?
Blue.
Worst food?
Vegetables.
Stinkiest smell?
Not sure.
Prettiest color?
Teal.
Best spot for a vacation?
The beach.
Best flavor of gum?
Glazed donut.
Brand of clothing that you love?
I would say H&M.
Favorite animal?
Goats.
Least favorite bug?
Spiders.
Best color in the rainbow?
Green.
Top burger joint in town?
I don't really eat burgers.
Who makes the best French fries?
Chick-fil-A.
What's 100 minus 50?
50.
Who was the first president?
I'm not sure.
Best age?
15.
Best professional sports team?
The Florida Gators gymnastics.
Best topping for ice cream?
Caramel.
Camping or hiking?
Camping.
Left or right?
Right.
Up or down?
Down.
Stop or go?
Go.
Hiccup or burp?
Pick up.
Stubbing your toe or biting your cheek?
Biting your cheek.
Fly in the mouth or fly in your eye?
Fly in the eye.
Hopping on one foot or standing on your head?
Hopping on one foot.
Oh, congratulations, Saachi. Majorraj has finished our rapid fire questions. So now you know everything about Majorraj here. And now we're going to get into the game. And Saachi, you can see the screen, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So this is a game against like one of your club teammates, Charlie Reese, who I believe Charlie Reese is like 1,700 around that area right now, I believe. And you're currently around 800, correct or no?
That's correct.
So this is about a serious, almost 800-point difference, maybe 900-point difference actually, in the real rating of this game. And I was really impressed with how you handled this game. Now here, Majorraj, who is Saachi, has white. Charlie Reese, former K3 state champion. He might have even won K5 championship. I'm not sure, but he definitely won K3 state championship at one point. He is CPR chess, and he has the black pieces. And here, okay, you started with E4, and he responds with E5. You play knight f3. He goes knight c6, and here you play d4 here. Now, how long have you been playing this move d4?
I've been playing the Scotch Gambit for quite some while. I like that there's like certain moves for black where it's not good. Like black has to make certain moves to get through this Scotch Gambit.
That is correct. Now, Scotch Gambit is actually an opening that I taught when I won my first team championship with a team called Detroit, Spain. So most of my kids were playing that at that point. And I still have some pretty high-rated kids that play this. So I do think this is a good way to play. Here, what does he do? Okay, he plays d6. Now, just to let everybody know, if this pawn, this is the usual move, and then bishop c4 happens, and then there's so many moves, like bishop to b4, and you can play c3, take, and then now this bishop has a couple retreat squares. For instance, like a move like bishop e5, you have bishop takes f7 and queen d5 check, or a move like bishop e7. This retreat is also dangerous because you have queen d5. And the only way to stop the mate is knight h6 and then bishop takes h6. So Scotch Gambit has a lot of venom in it. So this is a good choice, Saachi, to play this type of opening.
Thank you.
But here, looks like he was not having it, actually. So he actually, hold on, yeah. So he actually did not take the pawn. What did he play? He played d6, playing it pretty safe, but that means that this bishop on f8 will be locked in for a while. You still have this space advantage in the center. So here you play d5, pushing the knight back. And now you have this space advantage here. Now, what is your plan when you see something like this?
I like to make a pawn chain, maybe eventually move the f pawn to f3 and have a strong pawn chain on my king side.
Okay. And so here you play c4. This is very strong. Long as these pawns are there, then this knight is going to be on e7. If this knight is on e7, the bishop is screaming at the knight, get out of my way. And if the knight is on e7 here, then this knight on f6 doesn't have the option to go to e7. So this d5 pawn is a hater, right? It stops all the pieces from coming to the best squares. So he plays knight f6. You defend your e4 pawn, which is the base of your pawn chain. And bishop g4 is developing his pieces. You play h3 and ask him if he wants to trade. He backs up. And then you play bishop e3, nice diagonal. And then bishop d3, and then both you guys castle here. Now, one thing I noticed about you is that you have this bad bishop on d3. Did you have any plans on trading? Did you have any plans on trading this bishop, or?
I did have plans on trading the bishop, but I had to get out my knight, move my knight to, or bring my bishop to c2, then a4, which would have taken a long time.
Okay. So for those of you guys who are watching here, when you have a bad bishop in this situation, it's three things you can do, just like Saachi was telling us. You can do one of three things. You can move the pawn from in front of the bishop. So this pawn on d5 can't move, neither can this pawn on e4, so that's impossible right now. Or you can get the bishop outside the pawn chain. For instance, if we're able to play c5 and bishop to b5, or bishop c2 and bishop a4, we can trade it for a piece of equal value. That's the third thing you can do, is trade it for a piece of equal value when you have a bad bishop like this. All right, so here you play knight g5. And I believe when I seen this move, I was watching this game live, I thought you were doing this to play f4. Is that true, or?
It was, and then I decided against it later, and I retreated my knight back to f3.
Right, because if you play f4, then that would make the bishop on g7 a more active bishop, right?
Yeah.
So that might not have been the most accurate move in that position.
I agree.
And here, Charlie Reese pushes pawns in front of his king here and leaves holes on h5 and f5. That could come back to bite him later on in the game. Actually, it looks like you're trying to hammer those holes right now by playing knight h2. He plays knight g6, so it looks like he was threatening to play knight f4, but if I remember this game correctly, I don't remember him actually playing that move. Here you look like you're trying to trade off your bad bishop. Now Charlie Reese looks like he wants to sacrifice here. And I know you played Charlie a lot since you guys are both from the same town. Is he an aggressive player like this, or?
Um, I think it depends on the game. Sometimes he's defensive, but sometimes he's also aggressive.
Okay. Um,
Kind of plays both
so
ways.
okay. So here you don't really think, you don't really panic with the queen c8 move. You're just trying to trade this bad bishop off. So after knight takes, you do take with the bishop, and then he takes. And now when I see this, you got rid of your bishop, and there is double pawns. Now let me tell you guys about double pawns. A lot of people think double pawns are bad. That's not true. A lot of people think double pawns are good. That's not true. Double pawns have positives and negatives. So the positives of white having double pawns is there's an open H file for use. Even though there's not a rook here, a simple G3, King 8, G2, and a rook H1, now you have some pressure. Another positive of owning a double pawns is it has more square control. For instance, if you can ever get a knight on F5, for instance, like simple knight E2 to G3 to F5, your knight will dominate the board. So that is a positive of having the double pawn as well. And the negative of the double pawn is that either one or both of them could be vulnerable to attack, even though it's usually the head pawn that is the most vulnerable. And also, it's not flexible. This pawn can never go past the G4 pawn because the pawn is in the way. So those are the positives and negatives of the double pawns. So here he plays knight f4, you play G3, he has to move back. And now you go to knight b5. What was your plan here?
I was thinking that if I could maybe take some pawns or get more pieces on the queen side, because the king side is like a little bit closed, even though there are those holes in black's king and even white's king's pawns. It's just like a little bit harder to attack with so many pawns there at the moment.
Yeah. Yep. So here he moves his queen, and here you play f3. Now, I still think it's worth it for you to try to put a knight here. For instance, putting a knight on e3 is worth it. I believe king g2 and rook h1 plus a knight on f5, that should win the game for you, right? If we just look for it, a knight on f5 plus rooks on the h file, the knight will be attacking the h6 pawn. Think about double rooks if you have to on this file. I think you're going to be in a winning position because of that. Plus, you have the better bishop. Black has this bad bishop that's blocked by his own pawns, and you have a bishop that can move freely. And this double pawns actually, since it controls more squares, stops the knight from landing into good squares too. So G3 is a valuable pawn to limit the knight. All right, you play A6, and here you go back to C3. Now it looks like he's trying to get counterplay with the rook on the C file.
That's correct.
And here you King H2. What made you go King H2? Do you remember? Because you had 2 minutes at this time. And you took 6 seconds to think about that one. Maybe King G2, you were kind of scared of the checks, or?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right, so here he plays C6. Now it's a different type of imbalance on the board, and there's a backward pawn. And there's a weak square as well with knight D5. So Charlie retaking with the queen, I believe, wasn't accurate at all. So here you play B3. Now this knight can go to D5 here. But right now, looks like there's going to be well, I'm going to tell you something. If you play knight D5 and he goes C takes, B takes E4, you can play rook C1, and I don't think you lose anything.
That's what I was
Right?
thinking too.
Oh, you did do it. Okay, yeah. So you don't lose anything there. Now here you go knight to B6. That makes sense. And then now you have this double attack on the D6 pawn. This is beautiful play, Saachi.
Thank you.
Beautiful play. Majorraj is in the house, guys. This is Saachi. Majorraj. Yes, that person who was beating you in those games, named Majorraj. This is her right here. Stop crying. Oh, and now he plays rook d8. And I see a little fork here.
Yeah.
Oh, So, So actually, there's a little knight to a5 fork that looks like that could have been a winner.
Yeah, I
Um,
missed it here, but then next move I made the fork.
oh yeah, Majorraj won't miss it times in a row. All right, so, oh, I see. But then he attacks your queen here, so it makes it hard. Oh, but you take the queen and then take the rook, and now you're just up material. Now, for everybody who's listening, when you're up material, there's a terrible disease that you can catch, and it's not coronavirus. It's called winning. Okay. Once you're up material, you feel so comfortable about your position, and you start to play B moves, C rated moves, D rated moves. Then the other person gets to come back because the other person is playing A rated moves because they're desperate. They're trying to come back. So this is the most important part of a chess game is when you're winning by material, you have to keep yourself motivated to play the best moves on the board. And if you don't, you catch a disease called winning. And that disease is something you never want to catch. So Majorraj, here, she caught the disease. I remember this game
Yeah.
because she played this move. And I said, oh no. She thought she was attacking this rook with a check, but the knight will be able to take the knight on e7 and protect the rook. So, and also that move, well, she took 6 seconds. And she's down to 44 seconds to 25. And remember, if you have more time than an opponent, that's more thinking time for you. If you make a strong move, then their time will surely drip down. But this is an easy move to see. And now, even though Majorraj is still winning here, she has it's closer of a game now. This bishop is still bad. There's a rook against a knight, so still winning for white. And she doesn't have much time. There's 32 seconds to 20 seconds now. And then this is the move I was hoping she played when I was doing my live broadcast, a4, right? The best way to be good players is have multiple imbalances in your favor, a passed pawn, a better bishop, a material advantage, multiple things in your favor. And that's how you win chess games. And I like how she didn't worry about material. She just grabbed the queen. And at this point, it's over. And Charlie Reese resigns. Now, did Charlie Reese call you and congratulate you or what?
He did. We are actually pretty good friends and we talk often.
Oh, did okay. All right. So maybe I need to get in the future. Maybe I can get Charlie Reese on an interview because Charlie Reese is a good player. I remember him from the days when I was coaching, or actually not from the days. He played in the Holland Chess Club I think last year
Yeah,
against
we
my
both
in my.
still play.
You say that again?
We both still play in the Holland Chess Club together.
Right. And you guys face my implodians, right? So that's club versus club rivalry there. And so I remember him in that tournament. So he's an excellent player. Shout out to Charlie. But Majorraj, Saachi, glad it's so good to meet you. And this was a wonderful game. I thank you for participating in our tournaments during this pandemic and everybody's out of school. I know it can get boring, but I really appreciate you and your play. And also thank you for joining us here on Implodian Chess and Michigan Chess Association and the Michigan Junior Chess Arena for this interview. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Now for Majorraj and Saachi, I am Coach Wilson. Implodian out.